University of Michigan has a massive problem.
Only 68% of students on campus are registered to vote.
And out of those 68% of students, only 58% of them voted in the last presidential election.
The University of Michigan claims to be the leaders and the best.
But when it comes to voter participation, we're below average amongst major universities.
The University of Michigan has produced presidents, senators, congressmen, and governors.
Yet, we still remain one of the most politically disengaged campuses across the nation.
In fact, in the 2014 midterm elections, only 14% of students cast a ballot.
Could you imagine if only 14% of students attended lectures here?
In order to stick to our values of being leaders and the best, we need to take action to increase both voter registration and participation.
That's why we partner with the BBA Council to make this vision a reality.
In order to address these issues, we need to not only provide students an easy way to register to vote, but also help them learn where and how they can vote.
We found that a major issue for students on campus is figuring out the absentee ballot process, and for them to figure out how to register to vote if they're out of state or away from home. So we created a two-step process to address this issue, and we completed the first step a few weeks ago.
Before setting up our booth, we set out to determine if the general student body understood the voting process. We asked both in and out-of-state students how well they understood the voting process and if they knew how to submit absentee votes. We found that both categories of students lacked knowledge and information on the subject. 37.5% of out-of-state students and 25% of in-state students said they had little or no understanding of the voting process, and very few answered that they had full knowledge of how to cast a vote. While in-state students seemed better equipped to vote, the entire student body had a long way to go if we hoped to increase voter participation rates. With that in mind, we printed out voter information regarding registration, absentee ballots, and polling locations for students. Our booth was not only a place to register, but the first step in achieving a greater understanding of the voting process amongst the student population.
Can you talk about your experience when you came to our table in Ross?
Well, I was doing homework in the Winter Garden, and I saw your booth, and I live in Royal Oak, so going home to vote would be too difficult, so I was wondering if I would be able to vote in Ann Arbor, or if there was another way I could vote, and you guys showed me an absentee ballot and how to apply for it. Sent me a link and gave me some paperwork. You know, being a student athlete, it's tough with school, homework, and practice to have the time to drive an hour back and forth home. So I was able to vote, and it was pretty hassle-free.
This is only step 1 of our change plan. For step 2, we will implement our voter participation booths in BBA orientation.
To that end, we got commitment from BBA Council to implement our voter participation booths during freshman orientation.
I'm BBA Council, and I approve this message.
We measured our immediate impact from step 1 after tabling in the Winter Gardens in Ross. We've registered 6 students to vote. We handed out 15 absentee ballot applications. We had an impact on 52 different students, whether it was on the registration process, absentee ballot information, or polling locations. And a total of 72% of students reported that they are more likely to go out and vote after visiting our table.
Coming into our change proposal, we had a vision to increase voter participation and registration. When we first thought about this vision, however, we thought all we needed was our own will to make the change and the booth. What we didn't realize and what we underestimated was the need to over-communicate with the different change agents throughout the university who we would need to generate buy-in from in order to make our vision for change a reality. Next time we have to mobilize these different agents in order to make our change a reality.
So going off of that, we didn't really consider the schedule of Ross students, and we didn't really plan our timing in advance. So we set our first booth on a Friday morning in the Winter Garden at Ross. which meant that it wasn't really busy, and so we didn't have enough students to fill out our forms.
So moving forward, what we learned is that we need to give more time to the stakeholders at the university, such as the Global Initiatives Program and BBA Council, in order to get the amount of buy-in that we want to get. And we also need to consider, most importantly, student schedules with what we're doing, and not just our own when we're most free, but when the students are going to be most likely the best time for them to sign up to vote.
So in our initial change proposal, we had the focus of inspiring people to find the purpose behind their vote. But when it came to the actual tabling event, we were very focused on getting the metrics and getting people to come to our booth to sign up. However, in order to make this change sustainable, we need to inspire people to continue to vote throughout their lifetime. And in order to do this, we need to share that inspiration with them and make them understand the purpose behind each and every vote.
So in order to do this, we needed to talk about the higher purpose behind voting. So we really emphasized the 2016 presidential election in Michigan, where the vote was only determined by 11,000 people. And we told University of Michigan students that if everybody who was registered to vote here actually voted, that they would have the power just internally here at U of M to change the results of that election. And we really told them, it said it's not about voting for a single politician or a single person. It's about voting for the future. It's about voting for change.